this video may get a little bit bigger, so it's better get yourself comfortable. If you prefer, put it in the background and just listen to it. Okay, so let's go. Hello everybody, how's it going? Bertoni here. Welcome to the channel and welcome to another video. And today I want to talk with you guys about something that I've been thinking this whole week and in the past few months. It is, as a creative, we leave the Windows, not only Windows, but Windows and Mac, and go to the free alternative, the Linux. At least most part of it is free. In these past weeks, if I'm not mistaken, there have been a lot of talking about the new guides of Microsoft in that you need to have an online account to use the Windows, and a lot of things happened. Together with another complaints that we all had at some point or have at some point. And I've been thinking about this a lot because I don't know how to say it. I changed my operational system. I think it's about 6 months now or 7. But there is a lot of things that I don't like in the system. In the beginning, the main cause was the environment itself, the appearance of the environment. When I was younger, I didn't like Linux because it was too difficult. But now things have changed, and I was noticing that it was getting pretty beautiful. So it caught my eyes and my attention. So I decided to change for the appearance, but I stayed because of a lot of other things that I found in Linux that Windows didn't give me or didn't have in the same way. So let's define one thing now. When I say creatives, I refer to photographers, videographers, web design, UI design, whatever you do, but you have to use your mind, you have to be creative. So creatives, okay? I know that there is a lot of things that need to be creative to do, but you got the point, right? Let's move on. So what's the problem? The problem for me to leave the Windows was, I think, mostly fear of lose my workflow, lose the tools that I had, lose all the programs, the saved files, everything that I had, and start again. And I started to work as a professional photographer a few years ago, and I always used Lightroom. Okay, I was a Lightroom user for years. But then I started to get a little bit annoyed because of the price of the Adobe increasing, and I was looking to alternatives, and I saw a lot of good alternatives, but I always had this fear of change. So I think most part of us, at least photographers, I think, but not just photographers, I think we have this kind of fear to change, fear to lose our workflow, because let's be honest, if you get using to Lightroom, you can do things pretty fast, like it's pretty freaking fast. Right? So you can edit a lot of photos, you know the shortcuts, you know everything. So it's very good. It's a very good software. Don't get me wrong, it is a very good software. Probably, I think, change for Linux or use Linux instead Windows or Mac is not for everybody. And I say this trying to be as honest as possible. Let me break it down for you. For example, if you already use Windows at a point where you have it so into you that you already know everything what to do, change for Linux or Mac, but in this case Linux. You have to learn everything again. And for some people, maybe this will cost a lot of time and also money. So maybe you are in a point of your life when you don't want to lose this money and time to learn everything again. Or maybe you're just so used to a program and you don't want to leave it because it's very good. For example, Adobe softwares doesn't work exactly the same way in Linux, and some of them doesn't work at all. For example, I forgot the name. Premiere. Yeah, Premiere doesn't work in Linux at all. Okay, you can use virtual machines, but it's not the same. Okay, but so there is a few programs that still are only available for Windows. For example, my mom, she started a business with some machines that cut papers and stuff and custom party stuff. And she bought a very expensive big machine that only work with a program that runs on Windows. Okay, she is trapped in that system, and this trap was also a feeling that I had using Windows, because like I was stuck here, trapped here, because everything that I use is here. I can't control exactly what I do. So I had this paranoid. I don't know if it's paranoid, but it made sense for me, and I think it makes sense for a lot of people, and it's still making a lot of sense for me. Yeah, because we are a little bit trapped in the Windows, because maybe you want something different, but you cannot, because everything is built for that system. Also, you have the learning curve that it's different for every person. So if you ask me, is that possible for creatives change the workflow and adapt themselves to Linux and not only survive but grow and prosper into this environment? Yes, it is possible, and very possible. Is this easy? No and yes, because it's not hard as you think, because Linux changed a lot, but it's not so easy. You need to have a little bit of patience depending on the version and distribution that you was about to use. Okay, because I'm not going to that, but there is a lot of distros and stuff. Okay, so yeah, it's possible, and it's a very good environment. I have some videos here in the channel with some programs and things for Linux, so if you want to check them out, I will leave the link down in the description. You can see them also. Okay, so if you don't want to change, or if you're afraid to change, maybe Linux is not for you. But if you want to try something new, fresh here, they most part of them respect your privacy. It's a very safe environment. Not perfect, again, not perfect, very safe. You have an abundance of alternatives for your paid softwares, like a lot. And some of them are very, very good, like very good, like very good. For example, I personally became Darktable user because once you start to know Darktable and how things works, that program is like, he's a monster for editing. It's amazing. It's absurd the amount of things that you can do with Darktable in such ways that I can't even imagine that was possible in the photos. Because in Lightroom, it's good, you have some of your preference that you can move, some adjustments, but in Darktable you have like tons and tons and tons of stuff, micro adjustments in everything. It's another world. So yes, it's possible to change. It's possible to prosper in this environment. Okay, I also have some tutorials, so or somewhere or in the description as well, if you want to check them. Very good stuff. So keep in mind that if you want to change for Linux, okay, it is different. Now, for example, Zorin OS is training. I use Zorin OS for a lot of times. And Zorin OS is very similar to Windows, is intuitive. I installed it in my wife's computer and she like 10-30 minutes and get used to the stuff, and she's good now. She doesn't even notice the difference, I think. But you see, so it's not so different. It's not too scary. Because maybe when you listen to someone speaking about Linux, you remember the old command lines and stuff, difficult stuff, people with fedoras and hackers and stuff. Yes, there is those people as well. You will still have the command lines, but now it's way friendlier. Okay, so keep that in mind. This is may look scary and sound scary, but it's not as scary as you think. Probably it's way easier. So, for example, you can just put in a pen drive and try yourself. Like, don't have even have to install. Just try it. Like, amazing. As a creative, you need an operational system that will help you build the perfect environment for you to start again, bring you money as fast as possible. Okay? If you are a Darktable user on Windows, in Linux, it is the same. Okay? If you use, for example, DaVinci Resolve in the Windows, in Linux, it's the same. If you have Kdenlive, it's the same. But there is a catch, a very good one. If you use web apps, guess what? You can use them as well on Linux. For example, Lightroom, Photoshop, Microsoft 365, you can use as well. So all of the web apps that you use on Windows, you can use in Linux. Canva, Figma, you have everything on the web apps you have in Linux. So your workflow will be exactly the same if you use web apps. With the difference that you will notice that maybe your computer run better. Yes, because if you don't know, most part or most distros of Linux are very light and well optimized for your computer in necessary resources to run. But there's always a but. Keep in mind that you also will have to find yourself a perfect distro for your system. For example, I have some distros that doesn't run too good in my computer. It's not because my computer is bad or the distro is bad, not because of this, but because of a lot of components that together in that exact distribution doesn't work too good yet. Because how many people do you think have the same setup as you, use the same system with the same? You see, Windows is from a big company. They have enough money to try and test in a lot of different setups. So it's very well optimized in the general. Okay, for example, Zorn OS, they didn't have the budget to try all the combinations possible and not a lot of users to report the bugs, so they are in a different curve to adjust minor bugs and stuff. So keep that in mind. Okay, I personally like Zorn OS for starters. Zorn OS, they say Mint. I never used Mint. They say it's very good as well, but I will say Zorn OS if you want something similar to Windows that can run basically almost all the Linux apps. Zorn OS, I think, is the way to go. Just to wrap it up, everything together, the main problem is, are you ready to leave the fear behind and experiment something new? Or you prefer stay where you are, like you always been and you're good like this? The two options are fine. Okay, but I just want to let you know that Linux, it's creative friendly, let's say like this. Okay, and this is it for this video. It's long enough. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions. If I am able to answer, I will try to answer. If I'm not, I will search the answer and put there anyway. Okay, so thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you don't mind. It helps a lot. Okay, creative, supportive creatives. Yeah, thank you so much. See you in the next video. Bye bye.